Hello and welcome to the second tutorial video for Blindslash in World of Warcraft Dragonflight. I first want to mention that I forgot to mention one very important thing in the last video. And I will actually either put it in the video description of the last video and maybe even in this one too, just to make sure people get the memo. So basically what you need to do is after you get off the boat and accept the first quest, you need to reload, because apparently there's sometimes when Tom and Blindslash apparently bug out a little bit because the boat doesn't allow them to work properly, which is why you cannot get pathing there or open the Waylist. But as soon as you do that, it should fix everything. So just try to remember to /reload after accepting the first quest, just to make sure, because as soon as you get off the boat, things function properly and kind of fix themselves. So, we are literally in front of the quest giver that we accepted the quest from the last time we were here. I just simply logged into the same character, which is pretty straightforward. When you start up WoW, it brings up the login screen, and depending on how many characters you have, you can just up and down arrow through them and press enter to log in on one. This, of course, assuming that you have characters on only one server. For people like me, sometimes I have to go through some extra steps, but we'll get to that later. We gotta go get some medical packs, if I remember correctly. One thing I always like to do when I log in is collect the closest waypoint. And this ensures that I am going to basically, when I make a path, that I'm going to be heading in the right direction and not have any problems. So we're gonna do that now by opening the Waylist with our Waylist hotkey, which if you followed the BS Explained setup would be L. So we're going to open the Waylist and then we're going to press C to collect the closest waypoint.
Map redrawn. Southern Road 1 start. Pin list closed.
Oops. Okay, so you heard it
Kurt,
say...
Captain Derek.
You heard it say a few things. So first, it said Southern Road start, and then you heard it say on. Now, when it says on, that means pathing has started. So, that's to let you know that pathing has been turned on. That other sound you heard, I kind of accidentally pressed the wrong key when I was trying to do my mic key, and it made me move, which pointed me slightly at the beacon. I was slightly to the right. That sound to the left means that you are just slightly off your beacon to the right.
Captain Derek.
This sound means that you are on the beacon straight ahead. This sound means that the beacon would be, you would turn right. So the beacon would be off to your right. So let's make sure, just in case, this means the beacon is off to your left. So, when you hear these sounds, this is how you know that you're heading the right direction. Now you might be wondering, do I gotta manually turn my character to manually turn my character to face these beacons? The answer is you do not. There is a key command that will let you turn to these beacons automatically, so that way it cuts down a little bit on the travel time of you when you arrive at a beacon having to turn to face the other beacon before walking. So that key command is TT spin, and by default I do not know if it's bound to anything, but me personally, I like mine on Shift F, but you can really bind it to whatever you want. And you do that by typing /BS bind space your hotkey, whatever it might be. It could be Shift G or Shift F, which would be all caps Shift capital F space TT spin, and then it would bind it to Shift F. Obviously that was my key I chose, and you can choose any key you want, which is part of the beauty of this add-on, is a lot of the keys can be either bound or rebound to different keys depending on your preference. If something doesn't work for you and you find that you don't like that particular keybind, you can change it. So that's one neat thing about Blindslash. So we're just going to go ahead and use our TT spin, and it's going to face us towards the beacon.
Captain Derek.
So we're just going to walk, and then TT spin, and then walk some more, and TT spin. And I'll try not to speech interrupt so you can hear, because the pathing in this will actually tell you the road that we're walking down. That sound basically means that we've arrived at our waypoint that we have selected, which was the closest that I did by pressing C. Okay, and then from here, this is where we start the navigation. I'm going to first open my Waylist, and then I'm going to press B. This brings up your list of active quests. I'm going to then press enter on this quest, and it's going to create a path, and you are going to need to press escape to close the Waylist after pressing enter on your quest. It doesn't close the Waylist for you automatically. However, when you press C to collect the closest waypoint, or if you arrow up and down your list of regular waypoints, it will, if you press enter on them, it will close the Waylist.
Map redrawn. Aroki's is quest log now. Shuffling crack. Murloc Mania 71. Murloc Mania 71. Southern Road 2. Pinterest closed.
Okay, another thing you'll notice is it said Southern Road 2. Basically, this means that the waypoint where the quest is located is at Southern Road 2.
See.
So we're going to go ahead and navigate now. I noticed it didn't say on. Don't necessarily concern yourself with that, as sometimes it doesn't, but it does still usually start the pathing. Usually you can check to see if it starts the pathing by just either TT spin or rotate your character.
Captain Derek. Captain Derek, R10, 100%.
We'll find that missing expedition.
Progress panel, continue.
Stay
Captain Derek,
focused
Captain.
and sharp.
Okay, well, it is not starting the pathing for whatever reason, so we are going to try something here. Maybe this is a good thing. This is a good way to help you guys out. If it doesn't start the pathing, there's other ways. So we know where we're at, and we know where we need to go. So we're going to open the Waylist, and we're going to try another point that's a little bit close to that point, but not that point, and see if it creates the pathing then.
Map redrawn. Southern Road 2. Southern Road 1 start. Southern Road 3. Southern Road 10 mid. Pin list closed.
Wow, okay, so it is not letting me make a path to anything. So we are going to try and reload.
Your Gambit configuration has changed. Murloc hideaway. Map redrawn. Southern Road 2. Southern Road 1 start.
Ah, that seems to have fixed it. And there you go. If all else fails and you think something is broken, reloading can sometimes be the best option. In this case, it worked. And it's letting us navigate to Southern Road 2 now, so that's where we're going to head.
Cursor campaign.
Oh, that sound you heard just now was an obstacle. Basically, well, we'll call it an obstacle. Basically, it's anything in the world that stops you from moving. The game doesn't really know what you're running into. Basically, it's more of a collision detection. So a lot of times it'll be something that you can just simply jump over, which I jumped and I'm pretty sure made it over. So we're just going to keep on the path. Okay, that sound, the coin means we arrived. The musical sound means that was the end of the path. It's a very short path. Now that we're here, there's a couple things we can do. I think we're going to show you the first thing. Now, this method of getting to the quest is not as precise, but for quests like this where you have to collect something from a monster, it's usually good enough because it puts you pretty much in the center of the area. So what you do is you open up your quest list, and from the place where you arrive, you will you open up the Waylist, and then you go to the quest by pressing B from the Waylist. Then press Shift Enter. It will start a direct line from wherever you are at to the quest. It's usually a good idea to do this after pressing Enter on the quest and pathing to the area where the quest is at. Because then pressing Shift Enter on the quest is basically going to take you the rest of the way. So think of our path as taking you to like the front door of the house, and Shift Enter is taking you through the front door into the house. This way, if there's quests that maybe aren't recorded or just we don't know about, the game tries to get you there using the Blizzard's own quest, basically quest information that it has in its database. So a lot of times it's good enough, but sometimes you'll find that you won't be able to reach a quest, and that will happen. I mean, there are a lot of quests out there that the Shift Enter method does not work with. So, but that's why we have the quest recording, which I will show you on the next quest, most likely.
Map redrawn. Aroki's quest log. Murloc Mania. Quest area center. Murloc Spearhunter 100% R20.
Okay, that was a very short trip. So, apparently this is the center of the quest area. We're just going to go ahead and I pressed tab and it targeted the nearest Murloc, and as you hear, it is making the brrr sound to let you know that that is a quest objective. So we are going to attack him. I honestly I hope I don't die. I haven't played much with a hunter. I haven't even said any spells yet.
70% R10 R0. 40%. Loot all. You cannot attack that target. Murloc Spearhunter 0%. Loot all. You receive loot. Shiny seashell. You receive loot. First aid kit. You loot 12 copper.
Alright, we killed our first Murloc and got our first pack. As you see, that was relatively easy.
Murloc Water Shaper 100%. 30%. Loot all. Loot all. Murloc Water Shaper 0%. You receive Murloc Water Shaper 100. 70% R20. R10 30%. R0. You are no longer rested. Loot all. Loot all. Murloc Water Shaper 0%. You receive loot. Link mail boots. You receive loot. Shiny seashell. Murloc Spearhunter 100% R30. 70% R20. R10. 50% R0. 20%. Loot all. Loot all. Murloc Spearhunter 0%. Murloc Spearhunter 100% R40. Murloc Spearhunter R50. R40. Out of range. 50% R30. R20. R10. R0. 20%. Loot all. Loot all. Murloc Spearhunter. Murloc Spearhunter. Murloc Spearhunter 0%. You receive loot. First aid kit. You loot 7 copper.
One thing I think I forgot to mention is how I've been looting these things. So, basically, Soft Interact will tell you if there's loot, and you just press the G key, and it will let you interact and loot any corpse. World of Warcraft also has a nice feature where you will loot any bodies in the immediate vicinity. So it actually comes up as loot all. That's why it says that, because if there's multiple bodies around, it will loot all of them.
Murloc Water Shaper 100% R30. 70% R30. R20. 40% R10. R20. Loot all. Loot all. Murloc Spearhunter 0%. You receive loot. First aid kit. You loot 3 copper.
Another thing. I think I mentioned it in the last video, but as you heard, it said, "Well done." That means your quest is complete. If it does not play that sound and just plays the doo-doo-doo sound, that means you've just completed an objective, but not completed the quest.
Map redrawn.
So, now we are going to walk back and turn in the quest. There's 2 ways to do this. If you remember where the quest turn in was, you could path back to it by using the road point that it was at, or you can press B to open your quest list and press enter on the quest, and it should path you to the turn-in.
Aroki's quest log now. Murloc Mania 80. Southern Road 1 start. Now walking along the path. Pin list closed. Southern Road.
Another good thing. Did you hear it say now walking along the path? And it said on. And it dinged. So that means 3 things. Walking along the path means that you're going up the numbers, or down the numbers basically. So the way it works usually is the higher the number, the farther in the zone you are. So if you're walking along the path, then you're going into the zone. If you're walking against the path, you are going like towards the exit of the zone, or towards the outer edge of the zone, basically. That's not always the case. Sometimes it might be you're in a town and walking against the path is taking you, out of a building or out of a whatever. It's just basically the way that we determine which direction you're traveling along the path. You'll notice that it also plays a different sound for the direction that you're traveling along the path. I will say that sometimes it will bug out, and it will play this and say you're walking along the path when you're walking against it, and it'll do the vice versa, but usually it's pretty accurate. Okay, what I did there was I stopped at the path when it ended, and then I rotated my character around and I kind of interrupted it. It said cursor campaign quest, but that lets you know that you are back and you're at the right place and you can turn in your quest. So I will just simply press the interact key and turn in my quest.
Captain Garrett, 100%.
The
Cursor
Alliance
campaign
leaves
quest
no
turn
one
in 64.
behind.
Cursor campaign quest turn in 64. Quest progress scroll child frame. Quest frame progress panel. Continue.
Keep your
Murloc
guard
Mania.
up. Lives depend on
Complete
us.
quest. Complete quest.
Don't
You
leave
have
your
learned the new
post
ability. When you live,
unattended.
Murloc Mania completed. Experience gained 340. Received 1 silver, 20 copper. Congratulations, you have reached level 3. Emergency first aid. We have to patch everyone up before we can begin the search for the missing expedition. Take this first aid kit and tend to the wounded. No one gets left behind. Use a first aid kit on Austin Uxworth, Bjorn Stouthans, and Key Law. Quest frame detail panel. Accept.
Keep your guard
Cursor
up.
campaign quest
Lives
64.
depend on
Cursor
us.
campaign quest 64. Captain Garrett.
Perfect. Okay. So this is a good quest to demonstrate the quest recording. Oh, maybe not. Seems like the guys are really close by, as it's, if you are listening right now, it's making the quest sound, telling me there is a quest objective right in front of me.
Key Law 30%. R10. R0. Lang. First aid kit was
Don't
added to your
worry.
utility ring. Use
We'll
not
find the
found. Unknown.
expedition.
Captain Garrett. Austin Uxworth. 10%. R10. R0. Lang. Unknown. Bjorn
Never seen
Stouthans.
a
Bjorn
storm
Stouthans.
like that.
Bjorn Stouthans. Lang. Bjorn Stouthans. 50%.
Well
Unknown.
done.
Nasty storm. It must have hit the first boat too.
So all I did there was each person showed up like that. I pressed my interact key. It targeted them, walked up to them, and then sometimes you gotta do it twice, so I like to, as soon as I reached them, I pressed it again and it applied the bandage. So basically your interact key is your friend. It pretty much does everything for you.
Cursor campaign. Captain Garrett. 100%. R10. R0.
We have
Cursor
a mission
campaign.
to
Quest frame
accomplish.
reward panel. Complete quest.
Stay
Emergency
focused
first aid
and sharp.
completed. Experience gained 470. Received 2 silver. You receive item. Emptied first aid kit. Finding the lost expedition. I saw a fire near some wreckage up ahead. We should investigate it to see if there are more survivors. You're the greenest of the recruits, so you're coming with me. The others will search the island for clues. Let's move. Search the nearby camp for expedition survivors. Quest frame detail panel. Accept.
Don't leave
Cursor
your
campaign
post
quest
unattended.
64. Cursor campaign
You
quest
three,
64.
scour the island for any sign of the
Okay.
expedition. Recruit,
So-
you and I will scout ahead.
So you might think, oh no, I gotta follow this person. Well, you don't. You just simply open your Waylist and press B to get to your quests, and press enter on the quest, and it will path you to the place you need to go.
Map redrawn. Aroki's is finding the lost expedition 219. Southern Road 4 Warlord 1 quest givers. Pin list closed. Southern Road 1 start. Cursor campaign quest 64. Alaria.
Okay, we're almost here.
See.
Well done.
Hungry. Alaria!
Okay, so you heard a couple things. First, it made kind of like a sound that lets you know you discovered a new area. Then it said well done, which means that obviously we traveled to the right place. And it said cursor campaign quest, which means we have a quest to turn in.
Alaria. Alaria 30%, R10. R0. Cursor campaign quest turn in 64. Cursor campaign quest frame reward panel. Complete quest. Complete quest. Finding the lost expedition completed. Experience gained 240. Received 1 silver. Cursor campaign quest 64. Cursor campaign quest 64. Captain Derek. Captain Derek. Captain
The
Derek,
Alliance leaves
100%.
no one
Cook and meat.
behind.
Visit Alaria, a Renee shaman who was with the lost expedition. She's nearly starved to death. We need to get her something to eat. Slay some of the nearby wildlife for their meat. Bring whatever you find here to cook. If we can help Alaria regain her strength, she might be able to tell us what happened to the others. Get 5 raw meat from wildlife around the abandoned camp, then cook it on the campfire. Quest frame detail panel. Accept. Accept.
Stay
Cursor
put.
campaign quest
Henry,
64.
no.
Cursor campaign quest 64.
You're
Captain
gone.
Derek. Captain Derek. Quest accepted.
Of course
Cook
I
and meat.
did.
Cursor
He's
campaign
my
quest
son.
64.
But more than that, he's a soldier of the Alliance. We leave no one behind.
Okay, so now we gotta go find food, so that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna do that we're gonna use the shift enter method, I believe, once we path to the quest.
Map redrawn. Cook and meat 52. Southern Road 5. Pin was closed. Cursor camp. Zero more. Reach Southern Road 5. Southern Road 4 Warlord 1 quest givers. Map redrawn. Aroki's is quest. Cook and meat 13. Quest area center. Reach quest area center. Coastal Albatross. R10. Southern Road 4 Warlord 50%. 40%. R10. R0. 20%. You cannot attack that. Coastal Albatross. 0%. You receive. Crit 100%. 80%. R10. 60%. 40%. 20%. All. Prickly Porcupine. 0%. You Prickly Porcupine. R4. Out of 8 R20. 60%. R10. R0. 20%. You have learned the new spell, Disengage. Congratulations, you have reached level 4. Loot all. Prickly Porcupine, 0%. You receive loot. Fractured Canine, you receive...
One thing I may not have mentioned is you notice it keeps saying R40, R20, R0. That is how close the enemy is. R meaning range. And then obviously the percentages you keep hearing, 80%. 50%, whatever it might be, that is the monster's health.
Go 100%. R40.
I'm out of range.
80%. R30. R20. 60%. R10. 30%. R0. 10%. Ramcast by target. Loot all. Coastal Goat. 0%. Heroes. Coastal Elven. 80%. R20. 60%. R10. R0. Loot all. Coastal Albatross, 0%. You receive loot. Ruffled Feather. Coastal Goat, 100%. R50.
Okay. Did you hear that sound? It was like a... That means our quest updated. We're probably gonna go see what that update is.
Map redrawn. Get 5 raw meat from wildlife around the abandoned camp, then cook it on the campfire. Lang, 5/5 raw meat collected from wildlife. 0/1 cook the meat on the campfire. Lang. Pin was closed.
Ah, so we must cook the meat on the campfire. Okay, so if this quest was done correctly, because a lot of times when these type of quests happen, when it does that, it will also update your shift enter and point you at the place where you need to cook the meat. So we will find out if it changed it. We're going to open our Waylist and press B and hit enter to path, and then we're going to hit shift enter from there.
Map read. Road. Cook and meet 8. Southern Road 4 Warlord 1 quest givers now walking along the path. Southern Road 5. Pinned. 0 more. Reach Southern Road 4 Warlord 1 quest givers. Southern. Cursor campaign quest 60.
Okay, it did lead us to a different spot. So from here, we're going to open up our Waylist again, get to our quests by pressing B and do shift enter.
Map redrawn. Aroki. Cook and meet. Quest area center. Cursor.
Oh, one thing I should mention is that when you do shift enter, it does close your Waylist automatically. Looks like it led us right to it.
Land. You receive your cook meat.
Waylord.
Cursor campaign quest 64.
Ambush
Cursor
us.
campaign quest turn in 64.
Eat first, Ilaria. You need your strength.
So since we no longer need this waypoint, and the person is right in front of us to turn in the quest, I'm just going to simply open and close my Waylist to stop the pathing.
Map redrawn. Pin list closed. Ilaria 30%. R10. R0. Cursor. Continue. Cook and meet. Quest frame reward panel. Complete quest. Cook and meet completed. Experience gained 600. Received 3. Ilaria. Curse. Alliance survivor. Ilaria. Quest frame detail panel. Accept. Scout northward and find Austin Uxworth. Accept.
Go
Quest
with the
accepted.
line. We'll head north and
Ilaria.
rendezvous
0.
with the others. Ilaria, recover your stamina before pushing forward.
Just to give you
I've never given up on any member of the Alliance. I'm not about to start by failing my son.
And just in case there is one, there's a way to check for available quests as well. And you do that by opening the Waylist and pressing Q. If you find one, you can navigate to it by pressing enter on it, and it will try to create a path for you.
Map redrawn. Aroki's is quest. Pin was closed.
I pressed it, I moved up and down, it made no noise. That tells me there are no quests to accept.
Map. Aroki. Northbound 181. Southern Road 6. Pin was closed. Reach Southern Road 5. Southern.
Over here. The Quill Boar are conducting some
Austin
sort
Uxworth.
of ritual.
Austin Uxworth. R40. Austin Uxworth. Wilbur Briarvich. R30. R20. R10. R0. Cursor campaign
can
quest
I
turn
do
in
for
64. Quest frame reward panel. Complete quest.
your
Northbound
chin up.
completed. Experience gained 310. Received 1 silver 80 copper. Taming the wilds. As a hunter, you need a trustworthy beast at your side, or else these Quilver will slaughter you. When you're ready, I'll teach you how to tame such a beast. Then you must find one to be your loyal companion. Learn Tame Beast from Austin Uxworth. Then use Tame Beast on any nearby wildlife. Quest frame detail panel. Accept.
Hey,
Cursor campaign quest
we don't
64.
have
Cursor
much
campaign
time.
quest 64.
We'll
Austin
have to learn
Uxworth. Austin
fast.
Uxworth. Quest accepted. Taming the wilds. 0/1 Tame Beast. You have learned a new spell. Tame Beast. You have learned a new ability. Call
Find
Pet
the
1.
beast and tame it.
Speed. Cursor campaign quest 6.
Okay. This is a good time to teach about spells and that. So, we just learned our first spell that we really need to use. We need Tame Beast, obviously. So, what you do is you open your spell book like so.
Spellbook P. Spellbook spell icon frame. Spellbook frame. Spellbook. Spell steady pet utility. Disengage. Call pet. Arcane shot.
Okay. So we couldn't find the spell we wanted, so I arrowed down. Now the way your spells are actually laid out are they're in a small grid going up and down in one row and then up and down in a second row to the right. Your previous and next buttons are at the bottom. If you go too far down, you're going to reach the tabs at the bottom that let you change between professions, spells, and
Spellbook frame. Professions. Spellbook page navigation frame.
just professions and spells. Okay. So, if that means you've went too far, so if you go down there, just either hit right, like I did, and go back. It'll take you back up automatic. Or you can press up, but it might be a more roundabout way. I don't know. Let's try it. We'll go back down to spellbook and try to go up and back right to the previous and next page.
Spellbook frame. Spellbook P. Spellbook spell icons frame. Win clip. Call pet 3. Spellbook page navigation frame. Spellbook rev page. Spellbook next page button.
So that is possible. So just remember that your previous and next pages are to the right of the bottommost spells on your list, and you may have to click these buttons to see the more of your spells. I have to find out where Tame Beast actually is, and it may even be under a different specialization, which actually helps us even more. So we're going to first try to look for it under the general.
Spellbook rev page button. Spellbook rev page button. Spellbook next page. Spellbook next page. Spellbooks. Call pet 4. Eyes of the Beast. Command pet. Flare. Spellbook frames. Spellbook spell icons frame. Flare. Spell button 2. Spell eyes of the call pet. Eagle eye. Call pet 5. Beast mastery.
Okay, so it's not. I'm gonna guess that it's a beast mastery talent. So what we do is we go to beast mastery. There are tabs on the very far right hand side of your screen that go up and down. They go from top to bottom. It usually goes general,
Hunter. General.
hunter, which is just your any specialization basically can use those abilities. And that a specialization is basically something you choose. Like you say, I want to be a Beastmaster Hunter, which means I specialize in pets and taming pets and doing things with pets. Or you could possibly be a Marksman Hunter, which means that you are a ranged gun user who fires, deadly bow and arrow shots or deadly gun blasts at the enemy. But your hunter skills are skills any specialization can use. So we're gonna check under Beast Mastery because I feel like Tame Pet would be under Beast Mastery.
Beast Mastery. Spellbook aspect of the wild. A murder of crows. Spellbook frames. Spellbook spell icons frame. A murder. Spellbook frame. Spellbook spell icons frame. Brutal companion. Cobra stick. Aspect of call of the wild. Dire beast. Dire pack. Hunters. Wailing it. Beast cleave. Piercing fang. Spellbook page Spellbook page navigation.
Okay, well, I'm having a lot of trouble finding Tame Beast, so I'm going to try something. We're going to use the Unlimited UI, and we're going to go into our action bars and see if it's already set. And if it is, then good, we're just going to use it and tame a beast. After doing this, I'm going to need to reload, as usually messing with the spell book or the UI or anything, that's we'll call it, Blizzard considers it very secure information. So a lot of times when you mess with this stuff, it can cause problems in the sense that the add-on sometimes doesn't communicate well with Blizzard's portion of the API, or however that works, and it'll cause errors sometimes, and so it's just best to reload.
Unlimited, petty, steady, win clip, spell, chat frame, UI, chat frame, chat frame, UI pair, main status tracking bar, 993, main menu bar button container 6, action button 6, main menu bar button container 5, action button 5, main menu bar button container 4, action button, main menu bar button container 3, action button, main menu bar button container 2, action button 2, main menu bar button container 1, action button 1, land, multi-bar bottom left button container 1, multi-bar bottom, main menu bar button container 1, action button 1, pet utility, spell flyout, tame beast.
Aha! We found it. So, one thing you should know, this is actually a good lesson for that, and I forgot about these. So, there are some skills and spells that have what are called a utility flyout. Now, basically what that means is that when you click on it, it's going to bring up a list of abilities related to that particular, it's like a group of abilities, we'll call it. And you must click on that, and it'll bring up a list of abilities that you can go through. I may only have one, which is Tame Beast, but we're going to do it just to show you. So if you start at the left, at the subgroup, we'll call it, or at the main group, we'll call it.
Spellbook, spell icons frame, pet utility.
Pet utility, then you go right.
Spell flyout, tame beast.
This is after I left click, mind you. You must left click on this to bring this flyout out. Otherwise it will not show it to you. I'm going to go right again.
Spellbook, spell icons frame, aspect of the turtle. Spellbook side tabs frame, survival.
Okay, yep, it just went over to aspect of the turtle, which means that we only have one ability in this right now. So we are going to bind Tame Beast. Now there's two ways we can do this. Either I can bring up that UI thing like I did to check my bars. That is a more complicated method. Me personally, I prefer this method simply because when you do it this way, it basically makes it so you're able to know where your spells are at. The other way is console port has its own setting method. I've had a little trouble with it, that's why I don't like it as much, because I've tried to change my action bars, and me personally, I don't quite get all the bottom left action bar, bottom right action bar stuff yet. So I just try to use my main action bars, which is the main menu action bar thing that I was arrowing through, which I think I might just show you guys the simpler method, because I mean, I just feel like that's going to be easier for most people. So the easier way to do it is to find the spell.
Spellbook, spell icons frame, aspect of the turtle. Spell flyout, tame beast.
Press spacebar on it.
Tame beast, place on action bar.
We're going to place on action bar.
Place on action bar. Empty.
Okay. Now, what that did was brought up a bunch of action bar spots. It says empty, empty, empty. So we're just going to put it on the first one, I believe.
Empty, land, tame, empty, land, tame beast. Empty,
Now, another reason why I don't like this, as you see, it just says empty blank. It doesn't tell you what bar it is you're placing this on. It doesn't tell you what slot, anything like that.
Empty. Land. Empty. Land. Begin mode. Press keys to bind action bar slots. S to exit. And static pop-up 1.
Then it said binding mode. Press keys to bind or whatever. We don't want to do that. So I escaped out of it. We're actually going to bind a couple more spells because I need to be able to attack things. So we're going to first grab Arcane Shot and maybe a couple other things as well because it would be nice.
Spellbook, Marksmanship, Beast Mastery, Spellbooks, Call Pet, Arcane Shot, place on action bar, empty action button 3, bound to 3.
So every time you place one, that key binding thing is going to come up. Just press escape to exit out. And it read me the action buttons that time, so that was much more handier. Sometimes maybe it just likes to bug out. The console port UI setting spells, I mean, it's not perfect, but it works. And you only have to do it usually one time. I mean, you might have to rearrange every now and then, but eventually you're just going to have a rotation and it's going to be there every time. So now I know my Tame Beast is action button 2 at least. I think we're just going to call it at that for now for setting spells because we're going to do our quest. One thing we're going to do before anything is we're going to reload. We were messing around with the spell book, we were setting stuff. Like I said, we were close to the security section of the Blizzard's UI, so we're going to just reload to reset everything.
Your Gambit configuration has changed. Quilberry Arpich. Opening the map shows the quest log. Pressing space will show the map objectives. Very handy for rares. Cursor campaign
Pretty nice because you get to hear some of the helpful hints when I reload.
Map redrawn.
We're going to open the Waylist and we're going to search for a pet to tame. Now, if I remember correctly, how this works is you tame the pet and then you have to let it attack you, if I remember correctly. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but whatever, it works. We'll get her done.
Aroki. Taming the Southern Road 5. Southern Pinless. Zero more. Reach Southern Road 5. Southern Road 5. Coastal Goat.
One thing I forgot to do after reloading was collecting the closest waypoint. That is also something you should do, just in case. So we're gonna tame a...
Coastal Albatross. Coastal Albatross. Prickly Porcupine. Coastal Albatross. Prickly Porcupine. R40. Imperfect. R30. Out of range. R20. 30. R10. R0. Rodent 100%.
Alright, all I did was I shot at it to pull it towards me with my gun. It ran up to me. I pressed my Tame Beast key. It worked. I turned away from it so I wouldn't attack it. And it worked. It tamed. So now we're going to take our porcupine back to turn in the quest.
Map redrawn. Taming the Southern Road 6. Pinless Cloak. Southern Road 5. Cursor campaign quest R0. Cursor campaign
That
quest turn at
expedition is
64. Cursor
counting
campaign
on
quest
us.
turn at 64. Taming the wilds. Land. Quest frame close button.
The hunt
Austin
goes
Uxworth.
on.
Austin Uxworth. Taming the wilds. Land. Quest frame reward panel. Complete quest.
Apparently it doesn't want to read it to me. Oh well. We completed it. Yay!
Complete quest. You've learned a new ability. Revive pet. Taming the wilds completed. Experience gained 600. Received 3 silver, 60 copper. Land. Not forbidden Quilber necromancy. Land. Forbidden. Down with the Quilber. Scroll bar. Land. Forbidden Quilber necromancy.
Oh, okay, so it gave us 2 quests to accept now, so we're going to accept both of them. You can usually know because the quests will be on the left side of the frame, and they'll be usually above, like, you know, like if there's 3, it'll go from top to bottom, 1, 2, 3, or if it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If there's only 2, 1, 2.
Land. Down with the Quilber. Land. Down with forbidden Quilber. Down with the Quilber.
As you can see. Now, if you accidentally jump off the quests, it's going to try to take you to the scroll bar or to the close button, so you'll just want to make sure to go back to the left. When you accept one, it usually goes to the bottom, and then the one that you haven't accepted goes up to the top, I think.
Down with the Quilber. Forbidden Quilber necrom. Forbidden
The
Quilber.
hunt goes on.
Accept. Quest accepted. Forbidden Quilber. Accept. Austin Uxworth. Cursor
Let's
campaign
go.
quest 60.
Those monsters have my son.
Henry, I didn't see him, but I'm sure he's still alive.
I know. I raised him to overcome any challenge.
Alright, we are off. I think before we go, though, I'm going to do one thing, and that is set call pet. Let me see if my pet is with me.
Zolt. Rodent.
His name is Rodent. Are you kidding me? Okay. My pet is with me, apparently, and his name is Rodent. We're going to go ahead and start traveling.
Map redrawn. Forbid. Down with the Quilber 204. Forbidden Quilber necromancy 182. Southern Road 8. Pin list closed. Southern Road.
One thing that I need to mention. So, when you accept a quest and then you'd like to look at it, you have to open up your list and press Control B like I did. That redraws the path, so you need to, since it redraws the path, you have to basically re-navigate. So just go press B, hit, because every time you open the Waylist, it redoes the path. This is for basically safety reasons, to make sure variables don't get mixed up, and then we got it taking you halfway across the zone when it should be only taking you a few feet.
Reach Southern Road 6. Quilber Warrior. 90%. Brutal Strike. 60%. R10. 40%. There is nothing to attack. Loot all. Quilber Warrior. Southern Road 8. Quilber Geomancer. 80 R30. 50%. Loot all. Quilber Geomancer. 0%. R0. Elude. Quilber Geomancer. R30. 30%. R20. 100%. R10. Rodent. R10. R0. You have learned the new set. Beast Lore. You have learned the Quilber Geomancer. 0%. Elude 4 copper. 100% R-Whip. Scene Ogre Overseer R40 Ogre. Quilver Warrior Scene 70% R10 R0. 30%. Loot all. Quilver Warrior 0%. Elude 6. 100. Quilver. 80% R20 R10. 60%. Brutal Strike cast by target 10%. Loot all. Quilver Warrior 0%. Elude. Quilver Warrior 100. 90%, 60%, 30% R30, R20, 20%, 10% R10, 0% R0, Silver Warrior, loot all, you receive loot, Great Racer, you loot 12 copper, 30% Earth Bolt cast by target, 20%, loot all, Quilver Geomancer, 0%, you loot 6, Maverick, Arrow, Forbidden Quilver, Slay 7 Quilver within the Quilver Briarbage, finished, Forbidden Quilver Necromancy, down with the Quilver, Slay Geolord Gregog, blank, 0/1 Geolord Gregog, Slay, Southern Road 9, Pinlist closed, Silver Geomancer, Scene Quilver Geomancer, R20, R30, reach Southern Road 9, R40, Quilver.
And I made it to the second quest objective. So, basically, we just had to kill some things along the way, and we're here at the boss.
Intruders!
R0.
You will be our next
80%, 70%, Earth Bolt cast.
And apparently he couldn't wait.
40, 20%. 10%, loot all, Geolord Gregog, Geolord Gregog, Geolord Gregog, 0%, you receive loot, ship 4 tusk, you loot 7 copper. Mabry, Arrow, 4 down with the Quilver 160. Southern Road 10 Mithrin Court Choppy. Pinlist closed. Southern Road.
Okay, we're gonna head along this road to the end. We're moving along so we don't stick around for that guy to revive.
You're Captain
Cursor campaign
Garrett,
quest turn at 64. Austin
Henry's
Uxworth.
mother. You always said you'd come for us.
Well, he
0
was
more.
right.
Reach Southern Road
Now,
10
where's
Mithrin
the
Court
rest of the
Choppy. Southern
expedition?
Road 9. Cursor campaign quest turn at
I'm
64.
not
Lindy
sure,
Springstock.
but I know how we can find out.
Lindy Springstock 100%.
We'll
Cursor
show
campaign
these
quest turn
ogres
at quest
the
frame reward
power
panel.
of
Complete
science.
quest. Complete
Take
quest.
it
Down with the
easy.
Quilver completed.
And always take samples.
Austin
You've
Uxworth.
got my
Forbidden.
attention.
Complete quest. Complete quest. Forbidden Quilver Necromancy completed. Experience gained 750. Received 5 silver, 65 copper. You receive item. Link mail gloves. Cursor campaign quest 64. Cursor campaign quest 64. Lindy Springstock. Lindy Springstock.
Ah, I think we got some gear. So we're gonna go ahead and equip that. We got some linked mail gloves. So to do that, we simply open our bag with B.
100% container.
And then bags are laid out in like a grid format, so like left to right, up and down. I don't know. Oh, it's 4 spaces from left to right, just so you know. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. A bag is never more than 4 spaces wide, never less. So if it's a 32 slot bag, it would be 4 rows of 8, for instance.
Clean up bags. Container frame 2. Close button. Close button. Container frame 2 item. Fracture. Freight bracers. Container frame 1 item 9. Container frame 1 item 5. Freight bracers. Clean up bags. Text. Ruffled feather. Link mail boots. Link mail boots. Link mail boots. Item level 1. Mines when equipped. Feet mailed. Equipping this item. Static. Okay. Okay. Link mail boot. Container. Hunter's boots. Hunter's boot. Ruffled feather. Fractured canine. 2 of them. Clean up bags. Text. Ruffled feather. Link mail hauberk. Link mail. Equipping the static pop. Okay. Okay. Link mail hauberk.
So I'm simply just right clicking on the item. It's bringing up a pop-up that comes up like right above the item. Here, we'll do it again for the gloves.
Container frame 1. Hunter's vest. Freight bracers. Fractured freight. Clean up bags. Ruffle. Hunter's. Shiny sea. Lang. Container frame 1 item 4. Increase backpack. Container frame 1. Increase backpack size. Container frame 1 item 7. Container frame 1 item 8. Lang. Container frame 1 item 4. Container frame 1. Increase. Ship 4 tusk. Link mail glove. Container frame. Link mail gloves.
There they are, the linked mail gloves. So Linked mail gloves. I'm going to right click on them.
Equipping this item will bind it to you. Static pop.
Okay, it brought up the pop-up. It should bring it up right under your cursor. Sometimes it likes to kick you out of it, and if you accidentally arrow too far out of it, you can find it again. Usually it appears above the item, but sometimes it'll appear to the left of the item frame that you're in. And if all else fails, just escape out and try again.
Cancel. Okay.
So all I did was hit right, then left.
Okay, link mail gloves as container.
Then I pressed comma to equip it. Period is right click, comma is left click.
Lindy Springstock.
Necromancy
Quest
is
frame
not
detail panel.
next to
Accept. Use this out.
technology.
It's being kind of a punk and not reading me the cursor campaign quest, but I knew that I needed to talk to this guy either way. So, we're gonna accept his quest. We'll exit out so actually you guys can get the description since I interrupted it.
Cursor
Bring
campaign
back
quest 6.
something interesting.
Lindy Springstock, the Scout-O-Matic 5000. You're looking for Henry Garrick, right? He's a nice guy, a bit glum, but nice. Luckily, you have happened to rescue the one and only Lindy Springstock, inventor extraordinaire. I've got my Scout-O-Matic 5000 all set to go. It'll fly up in the air and let you scout the entire area. I'll give you the honors. Use my Scout-O-Matic 5000 to find Henry and the rest of the expedition. Use the Scout-O-Matic 5000 to find Henry Garrick. Accept. Accept.
Let me
Cursor
know how it
campaign quest
goes.
64. Cursor campaign
I've
quest
brought
64.
along a
Lindy Springstock. Lindy
miniaturized
Springstock. Quest
Scout-O-Matic
accepted. The Scout-O-Matic 5000. Cursor
Let's
campaign
just
quest 64.
unship
Lindy
it.
Springstock. 0/1 use Scout-O-Matic 5000 to scout the area.
Adjustment and
Medic Scout-O-Matic
just
5000.
right.
Scout-O-Matic
Give it a
5000.
try.
Cursor campaign. Lindy
there's
Springstock.
no
Cursor
problem
Lindy
that
Springstock.
engineering can't solve.
Medic Scout-O-Matic 5000. Medical cursor unknown.
Come in. It seems the Scout-O-Matic 5000's camera is working as expected.
It has a camera? Then why does anyone need to be up there?
As a backup, of course. What if the machine were to break? We wouldn't be able to see.
Ogre ruins.
I mean, I doubt anything of the sort will happen. Just don't jostle it around too much.
Oh boy.
Quiet. I see something.
So we didn't even need to ride this thing. Thanks.
We will take your soul and raise
Oh,
the
now it's
dragon
trying. Now
from
they're
the
trying to
dead.
talking about taking my soul.
The
Oh
force of the
man.
Alliance will rain down upon you.
Ha! Our dragon will crush them. We have other rituals to oversee. Savor the final moments of your life. Well done.
They're bringing a dragon back from the dead? How are we going to deal with that?
We have to
See
stop the
Quilver treasure.
sacrifice. But it would take an army to get through all of the undead.
Or science. The resizer can enlarge one of the nearby
Dark Maul
boars
Plain.
so it can trample
Lindy
all of
Springstock.
those
Point. Lindy
monsters
Springstock.
flat.
We don't have any other choice. My son's life is on the line.
Cursor campaign quest turn in 64. Lindy Springstock. Cursor
We'll
campaign quest
show
turn in 60.
these
Quest frame
ogres
reward
the
panel.
power
Complete
of
quest. Complete
science.
quest. The Scout-O-Matic 5000 completed. Experience gained 370. Received 2 silver, 85 copper. Resizing the situation. The resizer V9.0.1 barely works on inanimate objects. I have no idea what it will do to organic matter, but if we do nothing, Henry will die. Desperate times call for massively experimental science. Zolter, take the resizer V9.0.1. I'll follow you around and calibrate it. We're going to whip up a giant boar. Use the resizer V9.0.1 on 3 wandering boars. Quest frame detail panel. Accept. Lindy Springstock. Cursor campaign quest 64. Cursor campaign quest 64. Quest accepted. Resizing the situation. You receive item. Resizer backpack. Text field. Ruffle. Resizer V. Container. Resizer V9.0.1. Resizer V9.
Okay, so we actually do need to bind this, I believe. I don't know if it has an extra action button or not. You know what? We'll see if it does. First, we'll bind the extra action button as well.
This was before bound to click stern K from colon left button. Now it is binded to extra action button 1.
There we go. Time to try this out. We're gonna go find a boar.
Map. A road. Resize. Southern Road 10 with pinless.
On.
Reach. Quartermaster rig. Wandering boar. R30. Wandering boar. R20. Wandering boar. Wandering boar. Wandering boar. 98. 60%. 30%. 20%. 10. Loot all. Cast.
Okay, so this might actually be a good test of command palette. I was using it earlier, but I didn't really say anything. But basically, you press Control-Shift-P to open it, and then you can start typing a command like resizer, and it should use it from my bag.
Cast spell. Revive battle pets. Camera reset view 1. Camera reset. Camera reset.
Okay, apparently it wants to be difficult. Let's see what it's called.
95% increase back container frame 1 item resizer v9.0.1 resizer v9.0.1 resizer v9 pickup add the utility ring resizer v9 pickup resizer v9 pickup delete resizer pickup resizer v pickup resizer v9.0.1 contain unlimited group build and communities main status 2000 main menu multi-bar bottom left button container main menu bar button container 4 arcane shot main menu bar button container 4 action button 4 normal GUI reset container resizer v wandering boar console port resizer your gamut configuration has changed resizer v9.
And there you saw, as soon as I tried to use the item, it said it was blocked. I used UI, I typed /UI, I found the item, I pressed space on it, I picked it up by left clicking on it, then I did /UI for unlimited UI, then I went a little down and left from the bags and you should find your menu bar. From there, you can arrow along the menu bar and put it there on your menu bar. Or you could just open your bags and right-click on it. That works too for using it.
Wandering boar. Wandering boar.
Can't use that, eh?
Wandering boar.
It's not ready yet.
90 R's 80. 70%.
Whoops! Too small. Let's see. Turn this dial. Okay, try it now.
Wander 100% out of range.
Far away.
R20. 80% R0.
Yikes! Oh, that won't do it all. Here, try again.
Cursor campaign.
We'll
quest
find
6.
that missing
Cursor
expedition.
flank. Captain Dare. Soft interact off. Wandering boar. 90% R30 out of range R20 80% 40% unknown 100%
Eureka! A giant boar!
R
Let's
soft interact
report
on
back
cursor
to the
campaign
captain.
quest turn in 64
The
resizing the
Alliance leaves
situation
no one behind.
complete quest
Don't
you
leave
have
your
learned the new
post
spell main
unattended.
event resizing the situation completed experience gained 550 received 4 silver 25 copper congratulations you have reached level 6 ride of the scientifically enhanced boar we don't know how long the resizing will last so let's get moving we're going to ride this giant boar and mow down the army of undead between us and Henry the large ones are pulsing with dark magic if we kill them I bet they'll take out any enemies near them hopefully Henry will know more about whatever the ogres are planning ride the giant boar to destroy the undead army. Quest frame detail panel. Accept.
Keep your
Cursor
guard up.
campaign quest
Lads,
64.
we'll deal with
Cursor
the army.
campaign quest 64.
The rest of
Captain
you,
Derek.
push
Captain
forward
Derek.
and
Quest
set up
accepted.
camp
Right
once
of
we
the
clear the path.
scientifically enhanced boar. Vendor. Quartermaster.
Okay, so basically we're going to ride this vehicle, and some vehicles will let you do this actually. So we're going to get in it, and then we're going to open our Waylist, and we're going to navigate to the quest area, and we're going to just use abilities as we go, and
Captain Derek. R0.
it should complete the quest.
Vertical cursor. Lindy. Vertical cursor. Point. Interface. Aroki's is quest. Takes place in Exiles Reach. Please change zone first. Quest : Ride of the Science. Objective 2. The closest map point to this is Southern Road 11.2 Crossroads 1 End. Southern Road 10 Mithrin Court Choppy.
Okay, so it was being a pain. So basically, for whatever reason, it's telling me that this quest is not taking place in, like, I'm not in the right zone. I'm guessing it has something to do with me being in the vehicle. So what I did was, I found one of the objectives in the list, because this quest was recorded. And you can find objectives by pressing B. And then if you press left and right arrow, it will choose an objective and you can press enter on it. And if you've done that objective, it will mark it done. If you do them in order, they're usually in order. So like objective 1 is going to be objective 1. Objective 2 is going to be objective 2. I will be providing a Discord link for anyone who maybe wants to come on and learn how to map or share quests if you're sighted. And then if you're a blind person, if you'd like to learn how to play, we're always around to help. But anyways, so the recorded points are just points that we ourselves have recorded. So usually they're pretty spot on. So we're going to go ahead and go to this recorded point.
Pin list closed. Three more. Reach southern. Go to ruins. Stop. Spell is not ready yet. Zombie servant. Mark. Two more. Reach southern. Over ruin. Spell is not ready yet. Zombie servant. Spell is not. Giant boar. Dark mole. There is nothing to attack. Scout-O-Matic 5000. Ogre ruin. Zombie servant. R30. R20. Wandering boar. R30. R20. R10. Zombie servant. R20. R10. Zombie servant 5. Slash probable reach my corpse. Recap. Zombie servant. Release spirit.
Okay, for some reason it kicked me out of the boar in the middle of this area. I'm gonna have to figure out why it did that. So we release.
Release spirit. 1/1 ride the giant boar. Spirit healer. Speak. Spirit healer. Harpy roost. Spirit heal. Speak. Spirit healer. You can find your corpse and resurrect it at location. Players that are below level 10 can resurrect here with no penalties. Accept. Spirit healer. Speak. Spirit healer. 1/1 ride the giant boar. Spirit healer. Map redraw. Eastern Road 4. Pin list close. Zero more. Map redraw. Eastern road. The closest map point to this is Southern Road 10 Mithran Court Choppy. Now walking against the path. Eastern. Pin list closed. 9. Zombie servant. R30. R20. R10. 5 more. Reached Ogre Ruins 2. Ogre Ruins 1. Crossroads 1. Henry Garrett. Cursor Campaign Quest 64. Henry Garrett. R0. You died. Blank. Release Spirit. Release Spirit. 1/1 right click.
Because it keeps spawning me in this graveyard that's on the other side of the Ogre Ruins, and I need to get through the Ogre Ruins to get to the area where I ride the boar. Well, I guess this is where the tutorial ends for now. I don't know how to get out of this. I didn't know that I could get knocked off the boar, so I thought that I was just gonna go through and kill everything, but my TT spin was being ridiculous on the boar because, for whatever reason, the frame rate was being dumb on the boar. So, that's one thing. TT spin will not work if your frame rate, for whatever reason, is stupidly low. So, know that, but hopefully you don't get knocked off the boar. Usually you just go through and stomp on everything and walk to the end of that area and then turn in the quest. It's pretty easy, but for whatever reason I got knocked off the boar. So, alright, this is it for now. I'll be posting it, comments or anything. If there's anything I forgot, I'll hopefully be putting it in the comments. So, alright.